Breaking news! OMG! Bansang China, may malaking problema. Pangulong Bongbong Marcos, viral matapos gumawa ng kasaysayan ngayong araw. Paano ba naman kasi mga kababayan? Sumugod lang naman sa Malacanang ang isa sa mga mataas na opisyal sa buong mundo. Grabe, si Pbbm lang ang may kayang gawin ito sa ating bansa. At ito pa ang malupit mga kababayan. Dahil kahit panahon ng Kapaskuhan, sila mismo ang bumiyahe papuntang Pilipinas para makipagsanib puwersa kay Pangulong Marcos. Mga usaping depensa at seguridad lang naman ang kanilang mga pangunahing tinalakay, pati na ang tumitinding tensyon sa West Philippine Sea. Naku po, perfect timing talaga ito para sa problema sa West Philippine Sea. And take note mga kababayan, dahil hindi ito basta-bastang mataas na opisyal. Isa ito sa mga makapangyarihan, mayaman at kilalang bansa sa buong daigdig. Kaya naman mga kababayan, wag na tayong magpatumpik-tumpik pa. Samahan niyo ako at sabay-sabay nating alamin ang maiinit na balita sa araw na ito. Malugod na tinanggap ni Pangulong Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. si Ginoong Akiba Takeo, National Security Advisor ng Japan, sa isang courtesy call sa study room ng Malacanang Palace noong December 19, 2024. Sa kanyang mga pahayag, binigyang diin ni Pangulong Marcos ang kahalagahan ng pagnanatili na matatag na bilateral na ugnayan ng Pilipinas at Japan sa larangan ng depensa at seguridad, lalong-lalo na sa gitna ng mga isyong bumabalot sa pinag-aagawang katubigan o teritoryo sa West Philippine Sea. Binigyang diin niya ang kamakailang ratifikasyon ng Philippine-Japan Reciprocal Access Agreement o RAA na naglalayong higit pang pahusayin ang kooperasyong militar at makapagsanib puwersa sa pagsasanay ng pagitan ng Armed Forces of the Philippines at ng Japan Self-Defense Forces. Si Ginoong Takeo ay nagpahayag ng sigasig tungkol sa bilateral na relasyon sa pagitan ng Japan at Pilipinas na nananatiling kapansin-pansin at mabunga sa mga nakaraang taon. Binigyang diin din niya ang kahalagahan ng pagpapanatili ng prinsipyo ng panuntunan ng batas at ang pagpapalakas ng mga partnership sa iba't ibang larangan ng mutual interest tulad ng maritime security, economic stability at kapayapaan at katatagan ng Indo-Pacific region bukod sa iba pa. Samantala, sa iba namang balita, binanggit ni Pangulong Pbbm noong Biyernes ang modernisasyon program ng Armed Forces of the Philippines sa paglaban sa banta ng cybercrime sa pambansang seguridad. Sa isang talumpati sa pagdiriwan ng ika-89 years anniversary ng AFP, inilarawan ng Pangulo ang banta ng cybercrime bilang komplikado at multifaceted. Nabi ng Pangulo na ang lumalaganap na puwersa ng maling impormasyon at disinformation ay nagpapahina sa mga pagpapahalagang pinanghahawakan natin na nagbabanta sa demokrasya na ipinaglaban natin ng husto upang protektahan. Sa gitna ng mga banta, nananatiling matatag ang Armed Forces of the Philippines, aniya ni Pbbm. Tiniyak din ni Pbbm na ang administrasyon ay nakatuon sa pagtiyak ng Armed Forces of the Philippines ay ganap na handa na gampanan ang mga papel nito sa ating bansa sa pamamagitan ng Self-Reliant Defense Posture Revitalization Program. Layunin ng gobyerno na bawasan ang pag-asa nito sa mga dayuhang mapagkukunan at bigyan ng kapangyarihan ang AFP na bumuo ng sarili nitong mga kakayahan. Upang mapahusay ang ating mga kakayahan at kahandahan, ginagamit na ngayon ng bansa ang pinakabagong teknolohiya, pinapalakas na rin ang mga estratehiya at pinapahusay na ang kakayahan ng bawat sundalo, mandaragat at airman, aniya. Bago matapos ang programa, ipinagkaloob ni Pbbm ang medalya ng kagitingan kay First Lieutenant Del June Evangelista. Ito ay bilang pagkilala ng pamahalaan sa kanyang sakripisyo at paglilingkod sa kanyang ipinamalas upang masiguro ang seguridad ng ating bansa.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, His Excellency Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Thank you to the National Defense Secretary, Secretary Gilbert Chudaro, for his kind introduction. Please take your seats. Troop Commander, you will please give the command of Tikas Pahinga.
Ikat! Na!
The members of the Philippine Cabinet present with us here today, the Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, General Romeo Browner Jr., and the Major Services Commanders, the officers, enlisted personnel, and civilian employees of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, my fellow workers in government, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is my great pleasure to congratulate the men, women, and civilian component of the Armed Forces of the Philippines on your 89th anniversary. The history of the AFP is intertwined with the history of our republic. From your establishment under the National Defense Act of 1935, envisioned by President Manuel Quezon, you have stood as the backbone of our nation's sovereignty. For almost 9 decades now, you have protected the Filipino people, upheld our democracy, proven that even in the most challenging of times, the spirit of service and sacrifice rises above all. You have never wavered in your mission. You have weathered the darkest storms and risen to meet the most pressing challenges of our time. And in doing so, you have earned the enduring respect and admiration of all Filipino citizens. Today, we go beyond celebrating the strength of your arms or the victories that you have won. We are honoring the ideals that you embody, the ideals of honor, service, patriotism. These ideals that are etched into the fabric of the AFP, making you not only guardians of our nation, but also beacons of hope and pride for Filipinos around the world. In recent years, you have shown us what it means to adapt, to evolve, to persevere in the face of change. You have become an agile and responsive force, attuned to the shifting demands of our security landscape. And this is no small feat. For the threats we face today are no longer confined to our shores or to the traditional battlefield. They are now complex, multifaceted, and at times invisible. The geopolitical developments and tensions continue to test our sovereignty and our resolve. The surge in cybersecurity threats, if unchallenged and unaddressed, will challenge our national security. Meanwhile, the pervasive force of misinformation and disinformation undermines the values that we all hold dear, threatening the democracy we have fought so hard to protect. Despite all of these, the AFP has remained steadfast. You have shown that you are a force for peace, a force of progress and solidarity, a partner in building a stronger, more resilient Bagong Pilipinas. As we commemorate your accomplishments, we must look forward to the future that awaits. The modern age demands that we meet these evolving challenges head on. It calls for an AFP that is grounded in an understanding of its role in a rapidly changing world. This administration is committed to ensuring that you are prepared for that future. Through the Self-Reliant Defense Posture Revitalization Program, we aim to reduce our dependence on foreign sources and empower the AFP to develop its own capabilities. But modernization is not simply about acquiring advanced equipment. It is about transforming the way we think, the way we act, and the way we operate as a unified force. To enhance our capabilities and preparedness, we are harnessing the latest technologies, reinforcing our strategies and enhancing the skills of every soldier, every sailor, every airman. This ensures that we are ready to succeed in the battles on the field, in cyberspace, for the peace of mind of our people. After all, we are building an AFP that can hold its own on the global stage, one that stands shoulder to shoulder with the world's finest armed forces. As your Commander-in-Chief, I encourage you to remain true to the values that have guided this institution for 89 years. Uphold honor in the face of adversity. Lead with compassion, especially in times of crisis. Inspire with your humanity, for it is your very character that defines the armed forces. Let the AFP emerge as the embodiment of the Filipino spirit, a spirit that stands firm against oppression, adapts to the demands of the time, and always places the welfare of the nation above all else. I am pleased to see the relaunching as well of the AFP Museum. The preservation of our history, of our armed forces, is vital to remember our country's past while keeping our vision of a truly prosperous and secure future. We look to the AFP as defenders of our nation, as examples of courage and integrity. We rely on you to set the standard for patriotism in action. Soldiers who serve not for glory, but for the enduring promise of a better nation. And as we do this, we stand behind you. We will provide the tools, the resources, the support necessary to help you succeed. We will ensure that your sacrifices are met with tangible action. The modernization of our assets, the protection of your family's welfare, and the recognition of your invaluable contributions to our shared future. Kanina lamang ay aking iginawad ang medalya ng kagitingan kay First Lieutenant Del June C. Evangelista, o mas kilala bilang Delpot sa kanyang mga kaibigan. Sa kabila ng kanyang batang edad, labis ang sakripisyo at paglilingkod na kanyang ipinamalas upang masiguro ang seguridad ng ating bansa. Maraming salamat sa iyong paglilingkod sa sambayanan at sa lahat ng Pilipino. Ang iyong alaala ay habang buhay na nakaukit sa kasaysayan ng AFP. Itong pasasalamat ay hindi lamang para kay Delpot. Sa ating kasundaluhan, sa bawat sakripisyong inyong binibigay, ang pag-iwan sa inyong mga pamilya upang tugunan ang inyong tungkulin, agpapanatili ng kapayapaan sa gitna ng panganib, at ang pag-aalay ng sarili para sa kapakanan ng nakakarami. Ipinapaalala ninyo sa amin kung ano ang tunay na kahulugan ng paglilingkod. Bayan muna bago ang sarili. Nasusukat ang inyong galing sa inyong dedikasyon na ipaglaban ang kalayaan, protektahan ang mga walang kalaban-laban, at itaguyod ang mga adhikain ng ating bayan. Makakaasang kayong nasa likod ninyo ang sambayan ng Pilipino, nagdarasal para sa inyong kaligtasan, nagtitiwala sa inyong kakayahan, at umaasa na patuloy ninyong isasabuhay ang inyong tungkulin ng may katapatan. Sama-sama nating itaguyod ang pangarap ng bawat Pilipino na makapamuhay sa isang mas maunlad, mas makatarungan, at mas malayang bagong Pilipinas. Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. Mabuhay kayong lahat. Mabuhay ang Armed Forces of the Philippines. Mabuhay ang bagong Pilipinas.
Thank you very much, His Excellency Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.